And Emily Schultz, who's our intern and technical support, who arranges all these Zooms and all this stuff. And we have some awesome guests today, so we're really excited about this. And this is Stray Shots with Mikey B and KD, and we're going to be doing these throughout the next couple of months so that we can get you all excited about the Danielle Downey Credit Union Classic, which has just become a great tournament with great people. And so today, I think we'll just I'll have Emily, 30 seconds, Emily, tell them about you, tell them who you are, and then we'll go to our guests.
Got it, thanks. I'm Emily. I'm a senior at St. John Fisher College. I'm studying sport management and marketing. I'm on the golf team as well, Division III level. And I've been involved with the tournament for 4 years now. This year, just a lead intern, and in the past, I've been a marketing intern. So that's just a quick little 20-30 seconds about me. So that's it.
We met Emily in the Monday Pro-Am where we have the high school players pair up, and she paired up with a girl from Michigan State that you might know, Myers. So
Christine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I knew her name, but I was just testing you a little bit. So
yes.
So and she just had so much fun at that, and the impact that you guys have on these young players is great. And we get all our interns that way. They all come through this high school day, spend a day with people like you, and then they all want to work for us. So it's awesome. So let's go around the room. Caroline, why don't you get us rolling?
Oh, okay. I'll get you rolling. My name is Caroline Powers Ellis now. I am the assistant women's golf coach at Michigan State. I'm in year 5, and we are getting ready for the Louisville Regional, leaving for that on Saturday. And other than that, I'm still trying to play against the team, give them a run for their money, and be ready for our next coaches challenge at one of these recruiting events we're about to being able to go to again.
Your personal life's changed a little bit.
Yes, a little bit. Oh, well, I got married to the men's assistant coach last summer, so luckily I didn't have to look too far to find him. And so, yeah, we're almost at a year, which is kind of wild. I was all excited when I found out that the Bachelorette was starting on June 7th, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. And he's like, oh, that is close to a good date. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, it's the day after our anniversary, so I probably should keep that in mind if I want to stay married. But anyways, that's what's happening here.
So, and I think I saw pictures. Do you have a golden retriever now?
Yes. So he is 4. It's a little bit of a co-parenting situation because I bought him with my sister 4 years ago, and that was before Dan was in the picture. So now, he goes back and forth a lot. Co-parenting is hard.
Be brutal because I know how much.
Yeah, luckily we live in the same town, but if that ever changes, then I'm not going down without swinging.
And Carly?
Hi, I'm Carly Werwie. I'm the head women's coach at Loyola University Chicago, and just finished up my 3rd season there, which is crazy how fast it's going. But that's kind of my little spiel of where I coach at. And don't have any assistants. I know that was one thing that you guys kind of were talking about earlier.
I tried that one day.
What?
I tried that one day. I gave you about 6-7 holes.
I know, but you were great. Afterwards, one of my came and watched us. We were down at Lake Javita, and he came and watched one of my players, and she wasn't having a good little run for a little bit. And then we got to this hole 4, par 3, and she stuck it to like 2 feet, and then she made the putt. And then she afterwards, after Mike had left, she goes, oh my gosh, your friend was so nice, and he was always clapping, and he told me about your hole-in-one. And so it was good. But yeah, it's been fun. Crazy how fast 3 years has gone by, but I've really enjoyed the change, and I talk to Caroline and Maddie quite often when it comes to coaching questions. So it's been really great.
Great. We're excited to talk with you. Thank you. And Maddie. Hi.
All right. All right. Maddie Shells. I'm currently the assistant women's golf coach at Stanford. Grew up in Boise and played my college golf at Nebraska, and that's how our Big Ten matches came to be. I was lucky enough that we moved into the Big Ten my senior year, so got to play against at least Caroline and just missed Carly, but we made up for it in the Symetra Tour matches, practice round days. I think I played in the Danielle Downey Classic, 4 times?
I don't have that number.
Something like that.
It's all a blur. It's all a blur. I remember the media visits that you guys did. All three of you came up and helped us actually, and Kendall has too. So all of you are obviously on our preferred golfer list. But yeah, I don't know how many times anybody's played. In fact, do you remember Chuck Goody Coons?
Mm-hmm.
So Chuck went through the other day, and I can't disclose the information, but I think we've had 4 players who have played in every one, and only one who has made the cut every single time. So they don't know that, I'm sure. So we're gonna surprise them on one of these podcasts. So I can't say who it is because that would ruin everything. But yeah, but he's the only one. Chuck's got all the details and all the stats, and I just remember how much I really like seeing you guys when you came. So that's all I got.
Yeah, we loved that tournament.
If they would have stayed with the Parkers, they would have been okay with missing the cut, because the consolation day with the Parkers and our roommates there were pretty good.
No,
That
So
was probably the best miscut day. We were,
as far as missing cuts at certain events, that one was actually a high
No,
choice.
Did all 4 of you stay with the Parkers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everyone. That's a thrill, huh?
It was epic.
You ever talk to them? Did you ever talk to the Parkers?
they're on my email list for Loyola stuff. At least Jamie's email is, but a little bit.
Yeah, I think he said he's heard from you. Well, that's great. I wish we should have got Jamie on the call today. Oh, wait.
Oh,
Hold on a minute.
oh,
Hold on here.
Hello, everybody.
my ears
Timing.
were burning.
That is
Yeah.
great.
Hey, Jamie.
How's everyone?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. Doing great.
You
We were
look great, man.
Yeah, you look really good. We were just talking about how we've never enjoyed missing a cut more than at your house.
Watching the British Open.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm playing Oak Hill.
You're playing Oak Hill and watching the British
Specifically
Open.
playing Oak Hill.
And
I
the
still
Pitts-
use those coasters to remind me of the good days.
Yeah.
And the Pittsburgh Creamery stop. Good times.
Yes, yes.
The coaster.
No.
I need to bring them back after the redo, Jamie, and I'd like to be included on that, please.
Laura's
you?
out, you're in.
Ah,
Right. There you go.
so all your girls are doing great, I hear. I get Carly's not on, is she?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Oh, there's Carly. Carly, I get all your information from your school. It's nice, a nice update.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then I don't hear anything from Caroline. She doesn't send me anything.
All right, I'll add you to the list. That's one of my tasks.
And then Maddie, you're at Stanford. Congratulations there.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got a lot of nice young ladies playing in the amateur. At Augusta.
Yeah, it was fun to
Marianne.
watch.
Wait a minute, where's your face thing?
Yeah, are you on your phone, Jamie?
No.
Okay, because I
Jamie, we want to see your
Oh,
face.
yeah.
Oh my God.
And
Like, I'm
specifically
sure-
Marianne's.
Good thing she's here.
Oh.
There we go.
Hey,
the technical
Hi,
support
everybody.
shows up.
hey guys.
Thanks for opening day, so I got to run.
Have
Oh,
fun.
look at that. That
Go
was
get
quick.
them.
Yep, she has
That
opening
shows
day.
you where
She,
you stand. Not nearly as important as opening day.
that's right. She has 50-degree weather. She has about 40 layers on. I don't know how she's going to swing.
I'll be
Yeah.
fine.
We're kind of used to it up here.
Got it at 46 degrees, right?
Mhm.
Yep. So we can pretend we're making birdies in that.
I played yesterday at 2:00 and it was 94, and I played 18 holes in 2 hours because I was the only one on the golf course.
Yeah, we did the same thing.
Did you beat the
What?
temperature? Did you beat the temperature is all I ask.
No, barely. No, actually, I didn't. And I'll tell you what. I think I really had a hard time controlling my direction. I had an issue yesterday, and I think I lost 9 golf balls. I'm not gonna lie. I swear to God, I kept going in the bag for 3 more. So I lost at least 6. At
Mike,
least
there's
6.
a golf course community where it's called the name Waters is in the name Waterleaf.
Waterleaf, yes.
If anybody has extra golf balls, send them to Brady.
Yes, yeah. I'll take any that you have because I'm down to 1 box and I got to play the next 2 days. So we'll see how that goes.
Sounds like we need to get you a set of waders and a ball retriever.
Oh, the
Ball
animals in those
retriever for
ponds.
sure.
The animals in those ponds I'm not going near them. So yeah.
Caroline, I still use your,
Whole thing. This
your
is
writ-
sorry,
I
Mike.
still use your written description how to putt, but I still haven't improved very much.
Well, then that's on the coach.
Yep. Nope. She wrote everything down. It should be able to work, but I still can't make many putts. I tell you, you can hit the ball
I'm sure
okay
you
though.
practice it every day, don't you?
I don't. That's my
Yeah,
problem.
well, there you go.
You guys be after me for that.
The classic,
Blame the coach.
Yeah, blame the
classic
coach.
right? They all go, oh, I could play. These girls they're so good. I could play like that. And then, they can't because they, first of all, have no talent. And secondly, no work ethic. So
Yeah.
all of us that think we could be good at golf, it's just a big dream, pipe dream.
So Laura's not on the line, right?
No.
Oh, I never forgot number 18 East. She went to the back tip and she pulled out her driver and put it over the traps. And I couldn't believe it. That little thing hit it that far. I mean, she could crush it. She could crush the ball.
Little beast.
And how much did she weigh? Probably nothing, 100 pounds.
She blow away in the
Yep,
wind.
Yep. Oh,
You
gosh.
coaches, are y'all, I know you're gearing up for regionals and such, but are y'all able to play with your players as much as you want, or is it more instruction and recruiting and all the business work?
I'd say so for our team this year was a little bit different. In the fall, courses were a little, so we don't have our own home course. So we kind of bounce around from a couple of the private clubs in the North Shore area of Chicago. And just with that situation going on, I didn't really play as much with my team, just because I wanted to not feel like, oh yeah, like I'm going to play with them every time. But typically like in years past, like in the fall, I play with them a ton. Spring break, I always bring my clubs out there, and it just makes it, if we do like even teams, so it makes it even where everyone's 2-2-2, stuff like that. But it's fun. And I think it's a good thing. I played with them once this spring down in Florida, and they were all excited and they had fun. So I'm a big proponent of it because I think it keeps my game sharp, and I think it keeps them sharp, and no one wants to lose to each other.
Yeah. Maddie, what about you?
I was playing with them maybe like once every couple weeks if we needed an extra body in the qualifying lineup to, again, even out a group or whatever. But I tore my ACL in January, so it'll be until July or August till I'm swinging a golf club again. So not doing much this year. Just started back on the putting contest, but that's about it. Yeah.
I feel like I've met your entire team in the last 6 months. I mean, they're all playing in professional events, but I mean,
They're everywhere.
it's kind of funny. I'm like, do y'all know Maddie Shells? Funny story. You there in Scotland, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all staying at, for the Solheim Cup, we're at the Old Course Hotel, and I might have had a few beverages that night. We're walking
Just a
insane.
couple.
I see this massive tour bus, and I know that I've been told it's the Stanford women's golf team. So I hop up there. It's pitch black dark, and the man lets me on the bus. I'm like, "Where's Maddie Shells?" And I don't even know where you were. I don't
I
think
think I was like 3 feet away from you when you yelled that. And I was like, oh,
you know the bus. I don't remember that much. So every time now I meet one of the Stanford players, I'm like, were y'all at the Old Course Hotel? Because I was that crazy loon who hopped on that bus and was stalking y'all. So
yeah.
congrats on y'all are just killing it. I mean, I got to play with Rachel Heck, Memphis golfer last fall. That's my hometown. And y'all are killing it. And I know you must be super busy about to host regionals at your home course. So good luck to you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we're just really proud of the group.
Yeah. Caroline, are you able to play in your 40-degree weather?
Oh yes, that's when I really thrive because sometimes they get a little rattled, but I'm here for it. So I like to play with them a lot. Usually I don't practice very much anymore because I just prefer to play, which is even more fun if you can give them a run for their money or beat them, because then they get so frustrated. They're like, you don't even practice. I'm like, see, it's not that hard. So yeah, my head coach and I both play with them quite a bit. And so I actually, I'm going to get my amateur status back in February. So then I'll start being able to play in a few more tournaments, which will be fun too.
Then we're
Look out, world.
Mhm.
How
I'm going
about-
for a mid-am champion, and maybe by that time they'll get an invite to Augusta. That's the goal.
Ooh.
Yeah. Wow.
How about the other two? Are you getting amateur status or are you staying professional, or does it even matter, or what?
I'm saying professional. I just earned my PGA membership January of 2020. So I not planning on going back with it. I do a fair amount of teaching in the summer as well. So I mean it's limited, but I'm hoping to slowly kind of start to play. I'm a member of the Illinois PGA section now. So hoping to get into a few of those events here and there. And then if Caroline gets her AM status back, maybe we'll team up for a pro-am.
That would be amazing.
It would be so fun.
And unfair.
Yeah. How about you, Maddie?
I don't know yet. It's still a pro at the moment. I don't really have any desire to tee up in a professional event anytime soon. So yeah, but the longer I go, the easier it'll be to get my AM status back if I decide to go that way. So I don't know, still up in the air.
My question is, do you miss it? And when did you know it was time to head on to bigger and better things? Caroline?
Oh gosh, me first. I don't really miss it. I am a homebody, so the travel was something that took me quite a bit of getting used to, of living that lifestyle. And so I miss like kind of like working on something and seeing improvement, or maybe not improvement, but that kind of thing that doesn't happen as much now. Now you just live through other people's improvement or lack thereof. But I wasn't planning on being done probably as soon as I was, but my head coach, I played at Michigan State, and my head coach, who was my coach here as well, had called me when her last assistant left and said, do you want to come work here? And I said, nope, I am still playing. And she was like, well, just think about it. And then after I thought about it for a while, it seemed like, even though it wasn't my timing, it did kind of seem like the right timing. And so I haven't regretted it one bit. And getting a dog was my consolation prize. And then I found a husband. So I guess
Oh, I
it
didn't
worked
know
out.
that. Congratulations.
And it
On
can,
the dog or the
Thanks.
husband?
Well, I bought the dog. I mean, I guess the marriage license is $20, so I bought him too.
But when Caroline came to Rochester just on a visit with Julia Roth and Madison Pressel, one of the required things we had to do was go to my house so she could go out in the backyard with the golden retriever for half an hour. It was like, it made the whole visit. If we hadn't done that, all they would have done is play with high school kids in freezing cold weather and, done all this awful stuff. But that made the trip. So.
Yep. And we call him the emotional support dog for the Michigan State golf teams now. So he makes quite a few appearances at practice to keep them all chill.
Great.
Caroline, or not Caroline, Carly, what about you? When did you know?
I guess for me it was, I didn't make it every year. I had made it out of stage 2 of Q school, and my last year I didn't. And I think that's kind of where it was, where I was like, well, I didn't want to be a last minute decision maker. Like, oh, should I fly to New York for this tournament? Should I drive down here? And there were a couple coaching jobs that I had applied to. Some of the head coaches had reached out to me and ended up not getting them because they're like, oh, my administration wants more experience. And that like really hurt because they had reached out to me about it. But I think it was good to feel that hurt, because then it kind of gave me like a little better insight on what happened. And then actually, so when I stopped playing October, I had a graduate assistant opportunity present itself just like 3 months later in January. So I took on that role. And then it ended up working out because I really enjoyed the coaching aspect of it. And then once I finished with my master's, that's when I went right to Loyola right after. But I think kind of like with Caroline was saying, like you miss parts of stuff like working on things and seeing improvement. I mean, I do miss part of like the travel, not the travel aspect, but the traveling to different cities, different states, meeting different people. I know we would always try and find like really good food places and that would feel like the exciting thing for the week at times. But I think kind of that side, but it's nice to have a little bit more normal schedule, a little bit more normalcy and kind of have some routine going on. But everything did work out, even though, you know, you're upset when you don't play well, but I look at what I have now and all of the experience from Symetra's led me to what I'm able to do now.
It's great. That's great. Madeline?
I knew it was definitely a tough decision deciding to step away, but it came after I'd been playing for 6 years and I'd lost my LPGA card. And so it really felt like an inflection point. And I felt at the end of the day that I wasn't getting better and my game wasn't going, I didn't see the potential to like make a comfortable living and not have to fight for my job every single year. So that's when I realized I was ready for just a new challenge, something different that I kind of felt like I was banging my head against the wall and wanted to stop that. So I do really miss the adventure of it all. I kind of loved the travel. I loved making friends all over the country and then having an excuse to go see them once or twice a year. I miss the friends on tour, just the people in general the most probably, and the adventure of it all. But coaching is such a great way to keep your hand in the game and be around people who are still improving and so excited and just being around, 18 to 22-year-olds is super fun. Like it's such a great energy and time in their lives. So this has been a really fun transition out and still feels like there's that adventure and competition along the way.
So I was sure you were going to say you knew after that Pro-Am in Daytona that it was time.
When we almost saw somebody go down to a gator.
Those
are the adventures I missed.
Remember this?
Yes.
I remember this. Pick.
You have that, Mike?
Mike Nichols throwing golf tees at the gator.
Yeah.
You need a little bit longer one for Florida now where you live. You might lose a digit.
Yeah, maybe. I'll hit him with that thing. I'm not afraid.
Maddie, how many applications do you get a year from high school kids? I'm just curious because everybody's dream is to play for Stanford. How many? Thousands?
I will say quite a few. We get back to every single one of them, and I can see why I felt the same way when I was in high school. Stanford was the dream. So upwards of in the hundreds, I would say.
Oh, okay.
Maybe not thousands, hundreds, I think.
I've probably personally sent her 1,000 because I'm still hoping Stanford will recruit me, but
your option. How is that for all of you guys for dealing with COVID? I know, on tour life, it is a nightmare. Things are loosening just a tad bit, but are y'all just exhausted? I mean, I know you have to be a secretary before you can even really get to be a coach. Is it just exhausting? Even the recruiting and fifth year options and stuff. How's that all going for you guys?
It feels like, go ahead, Carly. It feels now as if we're a little bit more settled into a routine, but missing the entire fall season was tough, especially for the freshmen never getting to come back to campus and all the kids just having to stay home. And I mean, it was tough on everybody across the world. But it just, especially the summer and the fall and the cancellation of the spring season, I think that was the toughest part. And now there are a lot of wrinkles along the way, as there are in everybody's life, but it's getting to the point now where I really feel like we're able to focus on competition and coming together as a team, and we've kind of found our stride, I would say.
Good.
I don't know about the other two.
I would say the fall was a little more challenging. As Maddie had said, there was no competition for us either. And I think I actually was fortunate. I had all of my players return. So we were able to be together as a group. And even though we couldn't do things truly together in one room, like we typically would, it was still nice to have practices and kind of keep that unity going. And then when it came to spring, I think everyone did a really good job of doing our testing protocols, making sure that they're staying within their athletic bubble. And so there were moments where we had like really good things going on, but then I know there were moments where it's kind of like, oh, we just want that normal feeling to be able to go and do this versus, kind of staying in one group. But overall, I think they handled it really well. And I think it truly made a difference that we got to play this spring. I think spring of 20 was really like heartbreaking to end so abruptly. And so I think that's why this year there was so much more excitement on like, oh my gosh, we get to travel, we get to be together. And even though it was only half a season, I think that half a season meant like the world to a lot of players.
As for us, yeah, it was just one of those things where this spring, I mean, we were getting tested 6 days a week and then 7 days before we would leave for a tournament. So it just kind of makes everyone a little loopy. It's just, everything's just a little off slightly. And so it took us a long time to get our stride at the actual tournaments and that kind of thing, because everything's just a little bit weird. And so it was hard a lot of times, I think, to focus because you're so concerned about just the daily testing and the daily choices and all of this stuff. But yeah, they definitely, and then for us here in Michigan, definitely as the weather got better, we had an early spring other than today. So I think that really helped, just the sunshine and like being able to be outside practicing sooner than we normally do helped a lot. And then as coaches, I would say the biggest hassle for us wasn't even the testing. It was just the fact that we had to get takeout for every meal. And so I feel like all we do at these tournaments is like think about food, and I am not a foodie, so I could care less, but it's like, okay, we need a breakfast order. Okay, now we need a lunch order. Now we need a dinner order. And it's like at breakfast, you're thinking about lunch, and at lunch, you're thinking about dinner. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sick of food.
I live.
So that I like the efficiency of takeout and not having to go through the whole process of a restaurant, but the constant ordering of food and all of that is just kind of over that a little bit.
My email address, if you need food advice, I can help you out. I'm very good at food.
And to Caroline's point, it's like the timing of everything. It's like, is our practice round going to finish at this time? So we pick up food, or are we going to finish, 36 at this time or 18? It was not like stressful, but it's like, I think with all of us having played collegiately and professionally, like, you're starving after a 36 whole day. And it's like the last thing you want is to make your kids wait for food. So I think that was kind of a little area.
Yeah, like, food at the turn, okay? What are you talking about? 36 holes. So
if they are happily fed, they are happy. That's what I've learned.
It's it's funny. You guys have always told me that the transition from college to pro, when you go from your coach making all those arrangements and taking care of your food and your travel and all that to doing it by yourself is brutal, and it's a huge change. And now you guys are on the other side making all those arrangements for all the college players. So, but I guess that's that first year adjustment to being a pro is because of what you're doing now. All this hard work to make sure your players are fed and happy and traveling properly and all that. And during COVID, it had to be just brutal. We watched. I was watching some lacrosse, and they lost their whole season last year, and there was they lost their fall season. And I was thinking, if it was my daughter's senior year, it would be heartbreaking. Like, it would be heartbreaking to see these kids that this is their dream, and you only get to live it once. It's not like, like for us, hey, I could have changed jobs at some point or done this or that. But for these kids, college is 4 years. Now it's 5, maybe 6. But but it's a huge thing you're doing, and it's much appreciated. And I hope people realize what you're doing for these young people who, this is their one shot. So it's pretty cool, all the things you do. I think we're running low on time. So I just want to ask you one last thing. Just favorite memory about Rochester, and how's our tournament stack up? And this isn't, you don't have to lie. You can be real about it. But we'd love to hear what you think.
My favorite, does it have to be Rochester? Can I do Syracuse?
You can.
Oh, come on,
Oh,
Carl.
well, you'll see why. You'll see
Okay.
why. So my favorite memory of Rochester/Syracuse is one night we went to dinner. I can't remember who. I think Maddie. I think you were there. Like Laura was there, and a couple other players. And we're out to dinner with Mike. And Mike goes, "So, not to make my game feel any worse, but how many hole-in-ones do all of you have?" And everyone went around the table. I have 2. I have 3. I have 1. And get to me, I'm like, I have 0. I've never had one. He goes, "You don't have one?" He said, "No." So the next day, it's the first round out at Drumlin's, and on my 17th hole, which I think is hole 8 over there, and hit my shot, and someone's near the 9th tee box because they're watching their daughter play, and all of a sudden I hear like cheering, and the girl in my group's like, "I think you made it. You had to be close. It was an elevated green." And I'm like, "I don't know, but I feel like it's got to be good." And then we get up there, my ball's in the hole. So do that or whatever, play 18. And who is there at the 18th green? Mike. Mike is there with big open arms, just like, "Oh my God, I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you." And to this day, like it's so ironic that we talked about it at dinner. And then the next day it happened. And I had an awesome host family. So they made a cake, or they bought a cake and had it in the players area. So I know it wasn't Rochester, but it was your event still.
Well,
And
it was the birthplace of the Rochester tournament, because we learned stuff there and brought it to Rochester.
Yeah.
So it's
So-
acceptable. The answer is acceptable.
perfect.
So Caroline, how about you?
The golf was never personally very memorable in the state of New York. So I'm gonna have to go with the consolation day of golf at Oak Hill was absolutely the top of my list. The other one that this isn't actually, I think that was my last event before I took this job too. And so I missed the cut, and this is actually not a good memory, but it's an entertaining memory. So I missed the cut, and I'm driving back to Ohio on a Friday night, and lo and behold, I get back. I'm a little past Buffalo at like 7:00 on a Friday night, and I get a flat tire, and so I have to go to the Walmart is the only thing that's open, and they're like, "We're sorry, we don't have this kind of tire." But I'm like, I can't drive 6 hours home on a donut. I'm like, "Give me any tire that will get me home." So I bought a tire there, and then I get home, and then I have to buy 4 new tires at home because those were up. So that was my last tournament to getting a job, and then my first big purchase as being an adult with a salary was to buy 5 new tires.
Awesome.
I think you
I'm
had
glad we could be a part of that. Jamie always talks about that round you played at Oak Hill, don't you? Like, didn't she kill it?
Yeah, I was a lot better when I wasn't in a tournament, which didn't really fare well to my career.
Hey, before we go even a step further, I want to say bye to Kendall because she has to have lunch with her dad. It's his birthday, and that's more important.
Happy birthday, Dad!
Love you all.
Bye,
Thank you for
KB.
being part of this. Great to see y'all. Good luck. Go kill it. See ya.
All right,
Yeah.
have fun with Dad. Tell him I said happy birthday. He'll never hear it. So Maddie, how about you?
My experience is similar to Caroline in that my golf in New York was never particularly impressive, but as with a lot of experiences on the Symetra Tour, and yeah, just tour in general, it was all about the people. So staying with the Parkers was the absolute highlight. We had so much fun at your guys' house, the day at Oak Hill, the trips to the Pittsburgh Creamery. And then I came
Yum.
through and stayed there when I was playing a Monday qualifier for Canada or something. I don't know, I came through another time and saw you guys down in Florida, and so just so many good times, all about the people as usual. That and your pro-am parties. Let's not forget the 6-band whole clubhouse.
Cannot be forgetting of the pro-am parties.
And the media days. The media tours were always so fun. And then I wound up marrying a guy from Western New York. So
Look at the impact you had on her, Mike.
yeah.
Just
Buffalo.
feel like
Or Maddie's karaoke night when we drive to New Hampshire.
So Maddie, knowing that you have an ACL tear, which I didn't know, and you're going to be doing absolutely nothing when the season ends, why don't you come to Rochester or Buffalo and come over during our tournament and hang out with us? That would be fun.
Maybe so. I might have a recruiting trip or two, but
Yeah.
Just
July
let me know where the
12th,
high school
18th.
players are.
If any of you want to come over, July 12th through 18th, and we have a pretty good high school player in our area right now. She wants to go to North Carolina, so you guys will have your work cut out for you. But you never
They
know.
say that Michigan State is the North Carolina of the Midwest.
That's what I've heard. Same
Mhm.
colors and everything.
Do they?
So we probably have we have a couple good young ones. They're real good. So we'll keep you posted. I always do. It was funny because one of our players ended up at Richmond with Kelly.
Awesome.